Welcome back to Footballology. So a lot of experts say that quarterbacks don't usually hit their prime until about the age of 30, 31, somewhere in that window. And I kind of agree with that. It kind of gives the quarterback enough time to see the league, understand the league, read defenses, understand his playbook, and everything else in between. You think about a guy like Russell Wilson coming off the year that he had was pretty much an MVP year, carried the Seattle Seahawks all the way to the playoffs, and, fell short, obviously. But a guy that did what he did and missed out on MVP because of another young quarterback, a really young quarterback, and Lamar Jackson having a better year. A guy like Patrick Mahomes carrying his team to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl for his team. A guy like Dak Prescott who possibly could get paid like a big time quarterback, and that's a touchy subject. I don't want to get into that. And then you got guys like Josh Allen in Buffalo, Sam Darnold with the Jets. These guys are just young quarterbacks, and hopefully they can continue their development. So by the time they hit the age of 30, that they're ready to roll and probably doing great things. And we're just going to be spoiled with quality quarterback play for the next 10 to 15 years. And if you're a Chiefs fan like I am, you're really hoping that that's true. 10 to 15 years max, at least. But with all that being said, with all those young quarterbacks in the league, I feel like there's still one quarterback who doesn't get enough respect, who is well under the age of 30, and still feel like has an opportunity to hit his prime. Now, the one quarterback that I feel like that doesn't get the attention that he deserves is Carson Wentz. Now, a few seasons ago, he did put together an MVP caliber season where people were paying attention to everything that he was doing, and he was killing the league. He was taking the league by storm. He had Nelson Aguilar of all receivers looking like a true, legit number 2 receiver. Guy was dotting everything. Now, when it comes to Carson Wentz, he does get hurt a lot, and I think that's one reason why people don't pay enough attention to him, or at least doesn't even have any respect for him. But when he is healthy, I think he's easily one of the top 5 young quarterbacks in the league, and a guy that we can see playing for the next 10 to 15 years. Once again, if he's healthy, hopefully his body can actually start to, heal up and just stay consistent. You think about guys like Matthew Stafford when he started out his career, he was consistently injured at the beginning of his career, but then found a way to kind of stay healthy. And I think it's just all a part about growing into the NFL and understanding what you can and can't do within the NFL. But one thing I do love about Carson Wentz is that when he's in the pocket, he has tremendous pocket presence from where the pass rushers coming and know how to elude pass rushers and pass lanes, and just find the pass lanes and actually throw the ball down the field. I think he's one of the guys that does it really well, and especially for a younger quarterback. He has a prototypical size and he has a prototypical arm, a guy that can really throw the ball down the field and pretty much hit almost every blade of grass on the field. I know we got guys like Patrick Mahomes that's in the league that everyone talks about his cannon, his arm, but Carson Wentz is right there with him and Josh Allen. I think that Carson Wentz is a guy that doesn't get that respect because he is hurt all the time. But you put him together with a clean wide receiver core, and you put him together with a clean offensive line, and the guy can sit back there all day, and he will carve up some defenses. He's a guy that I feel like that can run the NFC East for years to come. I know Nick Foles is the one that won the Super Bowl, but I feel like if it wasn't for Carson Wentz in that season and doing what he did to get that team that kind of confidence into that point of the season where they can make the playoffs and be that great of a team, I don't think they win the Super Bowl personally. Carson Wentz doesn't get enough credit for what he does bring to the table for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I feel like that's why the Eagles paid him the money that they paid him, which was well deserved if you ask me. I think if I was in the Eagles' position, I would have still paid that man that money too. Jared Goff, on the other hand, was a pretty questionable thing, but I feel like Carson Wentz is the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think eventually he will be considered a top 5 quarterback overall in the league, and not just a top 5 quarterback among the young quarterbacks. Because when you look at a young quarterback, or you look at some of the young quarterbacks who are under the age of 30, there are some good guys out there. I feel like Patrick Mahomes does lead the pack at number 1 because of what he's done in the first 2 starting seasons that he's had. But Carson Wentz, I think, can easily make a case for number 2 or 3. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Lamar Jackson. I don't care too much for Lamar Jackson because he's a run-first quarterback. I'm not going to say run-first quarterback, but he's a more, run-heavy quarterback, if you will, than pass quarterback, whereas Carson Wentz gives you all that. Carson Wentz is a mobile quarterback who can run the ball extremely well. Carson Wentz can also throw the ball extremely well, too. So it's like, if you're me and we're in the GM position, if I had a chance between Lamar Jackson and Carson Wentz, I'm taking Carson Wentz every time because I still get the mobility, but I also get, so much more as far as the throwing the ball down the field. All I gotta do is protect my guy, and he's gonna take care of me. And I think that's any quarterback in the league. You can say that, but when it comes to Carson Wentz, it's just his injuries. I think that if he can stay healthy, I really believe that when it's all said and done, I think he would be considered a top 5 quarterback amongst the whole entire NFL, and not just amongst the NFL's young quarterbacks. I think that we're going to be talking about him. And now he does have a Super Bowl ring, but I feel like we're going to be talking about it with him along the sides of like a Patrick Mahomes or a guy like Russell Wilson or somewhere along those lines. He has a Super Bowl ring, but he doesn't have his own Super Bowl ring. So give him time. I think eventually he will win his own Super Bowl ring because I think he's that good of a quarterback or that quality of a quarterback. And I would consider him a franchise quarterback. And, you know, that tag or that label doesn't get thrown around all the time. I think people throw it around when quarterbacks get contracts. And he does have a contract, but I feel like he truly is a franchise quarterback because of what he can do for the Philadelphia Eagles from the quarterback position and how much better he makes that offense. Now, Nick Foles did help that offense a little bit more, but like I said, Carson Wentz is the go-to quarterback for me. I think that he's a quarterback that you can truly build a team around. I think with everything else in place that he has this year, I think they're going to be a really solid roster or a really solid team because of Carson Wentz and what he can do on the offensive side of the ball. And I know all this smoke is coming out about him and Nick Foles. Nick Foles was a decent quarterback, but he came and beat out Gardner Minshew, and he got hurt week 1 of all weeks. Like he got hurt right out of the gate, and he never got his job back. So you look at Carson Wentz, is he even, you know, like how can we compare Nick Foles and Carson Wentz when Carson Wentz is out there consistently doing it? When he's on the field, he's consistently putting up great numbers, consistently over 3,000 yards, putting up 25 plus touchdowns. The guy can actually throw the ball and sling it with the best, in my personal opinion. So that's all I have for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Who's your top 5 young quarterbacks under the age of 30? I got Carson Wentz at number 3 behind Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes at number 1, obviously. I feel like that Carson Wentz has an opportunity to be a great quarterback if he can stay on the field. I keep saying that because I know a lot of people are going to butcher me for that. But when he's on the field, I think he's easily a top 5 quarterback, at least amongst the young quarterbacks in the league right now. Lamar Jackson is number 5 for me. I know a lot of people are going to burn me for that as well. I just don't care too much for the running quarterback. Can you throw the ball? Can you show me that you can dot somebody down the sideline? Because that's where Lamar Jackson struggles the most. If he can come out this year and improve that, I think he can definitely be a dangerous quarterback. But that's all I have for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a footballologist yet, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel today, become a footballologist, and stay safe, football fans.